What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another full self-driving video. One-click autopilot. It does not have the same ring to it as doing the double click as at the start of the video. But whatever, we're here on the latest full self-driving beta update, 11.4.8.1. And there have been a lot of changes here, even though we're not on version 12 yet. It seems like Tesla is making a lot of changes to the way that FSD beta is working, including not fixing the wipers, even though we're waiting for version 12. And so you can see in the release notes here, number one is added the option to activate autopilot with a single stalk depression, as I showed you at the beginning of this video. Now, normally for autopilot, you can do a very gentle kind of double click down, or you can push the stalk all the way down. I found with this single click, it really helps to crank it all the way down. Sometimes it doesn't engage correctly if you just do one light tap down, as opposed to you could do two light taps down before. I don't know, whatever. It's just kind of what I noticed. I'm waiting here to make this right turn, so doing a really good job with that. You can pause and read those other release notes if you want. I made a whole video about those, but excuse me, voice is still a little gone from being in Texas. There's a lot having to do with the way the car kind of perceives the other vehicles around it and the world around it. Now, my complaints I've been complaining for many, many months at this point are still here. Wipers, number one, you can see, yes, it's raining, but even when it's not raining, the wipers are just going crazy all the time. I have this sexy button here that I've programmed so I can turn off the wipers. Now, when you have FSD enabled, the wipers have to be on 1, 2, 3, 4, or auto. You cannot turn them off when FSD is enabled, but this button, these sexy buttons allow you to do things you wouldn't normally be able to do. So since it's raining and I'm doing FSD and letting the car do everything, I'll leave them on unless it gets too annoying. But just so you know, in my daily driving, I am always utilizing this little button here to turn off the wipers when I use FSD, because they're just going all the time, whether it's raining or not. And then on top of that, another bug that I've been complaining about a long time is the lane drift situation. I'll show you a clip of that here in the bottom right of the video, or wherever I put that, where the car basically just drifts into lanes, and that's still happening, and it'll accelerate to the very end of that lane. Sometimes it'll save itself and move back out. Sometimes it'll try to do what that lane is asking it to do, waiting for this pedestrian nicely. But it's just like, you know, those weren't problems before 11.4, and it's kind of like, we're getting updates, like not that many, but we're getting updates in the version 11 branch. Can't we fix these things that didn't used to be problems? It's just very frustrating when you'll see that the rest of the experience for me, outside of those couple of very consistent bugs, is very good. FSD in this downtown drive, I expect it to do really well. I mean, we may get through this with zero interventions, zero disengagements, or maybe I'll have to push the accelerator here or there or something. But outside of that, the car, for me, is performing very well. So we'll go through this downtown scenario, being a little cautious there, but that's very good. Now, I've added some new little challenges in here because the car has been doing so well. So as the car gets better and does well on the routes that I kind of pre-programmed, so we don't need to stop there for any reason, not that it's dangerous. As the car, gets better at these things, I do keep switching it up a little bit, including a spot here in a little bit where the car used to go through a red light. We'll have to see if the light is red or whatever, but hopefully that's been fixed. So outside of that, I mean, I'm enjoying FSD. All the Cybertruck stuff is very exciting. I'm going to make some videos about that as I kind of get to it, talking about some of the features that, Tesla didn't do a great job talking about, and kind of some of the things I'm excited for Cybertruck. And then if you put this right turn signal on, okay, a little late, but I don't know how else you're going to do that. So a little slow, and probably a little confusing for that driver across from us, but the car did navigate that situation correctly. So with all this rain, it's interesting because you still will make a little bit of solar. If you look out, it doesn't look like there's much, but even this amount of glow in the air, my solar panels do produce a little bit. But of course, in the winter, when it's cloudy, looking like this and raining, your solar production is dramatically down. And when that happens, the solar companies will sometimes give you a deal. So you should definitely check out today's sponsor, Drone Quote. They will do all this stuff for you for free. So go to the website, use the link below. Just be like, hey, I'm interested in solar. They will go in your area. Nice job stopping for this person and waiting as they back out. They will go in your area and get you a bunch of quotes from all the solar installers around you, hopefully taking advantage of the off season. It's definitely off season for solar right now, and get you a great deal. And they'll be like, hey, here's all the things. Do what you want. We'll help you out. If you're not ready, okay, never mind, we'll leave you alone. But they'll kind of, get all that for you and do all the legwork for you to find you the best deal. So check out the link below. Thank you to Drone Quote for sponsoring this video as my voice continues to go in and out. So waiting at this stop sign for the pedestrian. Very nice there. And we will, okay, that person definitely cut us off there. So we can't see, that's why the car's waiting at this green light, which is fair. We'll make this left, and then I need to edit this on the fly here. And we're going to this side. So this side is where the car always gets stuck. Maybe they've changed it up, maybe they haven't. So for this human, no problem for them to just move right through there. They were on the same side as us. Let's see if Beta can kind of follow that maneuver. And nope, just like every time, it gets kind of stuck here with the cones. We're not in anyone's way yet. All right, so I'm gonna push the accelerator. Someone's coming up behind us. And there you go. So I did intervene there. I did push the accelerator a little bit there, but the car did steer out of it all on its own. It's just so funny to me here, I'll report it, that still, I mean, again, that's another thing that's been for months. It is a little tight there, don't get me wrong, but the car just cannot figure out that it's safe for it to move through in that position, and it just kind of sits there forever. I've waited longer when nobody was behind me, but when there's people, you know, I don't want to stay in the way of people if I don't have to. And another thing I meant to say near the beginning is this is hardware 3. We do have a hardware 4 car, but it has not got this update yet. And this doesn't seem to only be rolling out to the OG testers. It seems lately with these updates, they go out to, you know, the original testers in the beginning, but they're also going out to others really quickly at the same time, which is nice. It doesn't seem like it's everybody all at the same time, but a lot more than just the original testers. So Beta a little hesitant with these cars coming from the left here, which was definitely the right move. Actually, I wasn't sure myself if people were turning right or not. We had 3 cars, 2 turned right, neither of them had a turn signal. And then this third vehicle also didn't use a turn signal because they weren't turning. So ended up being the right decision waiting there. So we could, nope, never mind. I was gonna say we could take this from the bus because it has people walking in front of it. But then we had a pedestrian walk in front of us as well. We'll wait here, and yes, I would definitely be scooting up, get ready for this turn. I would get way up there. I love this acceleration, and oh man, that is so smooth. That is just so good. When it moves through those intersections like that, really smooth acceleration. It's not hesitating back and forth. It's not just sitting there way far back. It's like actually getting ready for the thing. So here we go. We're stopping for this pedestrian. Very nice. And if she doesn't go soon enough, oh my gosh, beautiful. If the problem is, and where I get, I mean, nervous isn't the right word, but I'm like ready to, you know, intervene if I have to. The pedestrian waiting there, I mean, good job. That was just so polite. The pedestrian waiting there, if they wait too long, then Beta's gonna be like, oh, I was mistaken, they're not crossing, I'm gonna keep going. Which is, it's tough because if a person's looking at me in that situation, it's obvious to me that they're waiting to cross. I can just tell by the eye contact, by the way, where they're looking, how they're standing. And the car is getting very good. Beta's getting very good, or I should just call it FSD from now on, is getting very good at seeing the way people's bodies are positioned and making decisions based off of that. But it definitely doesn't seem like it's looking at their head. It's more looking at their entire body and their velocity and things like that. So we need to move around this person walking in the road, which is fine. Car's a little hesitant. And then we might as well just stay over there as we pass this vehicle. So very good there. It's a double yellow line, which is, you know, in a normal circumstance, an illegal thing to go over that double yellow line. But of course, you're not just going to sit there on the right side of the road as, number one, there's a pedestrian walking in the road, and number two, there's a vehicle parked in the road. You're not just going to park there all day and wait, you know, for them to make their delivery or whatever. So again, all of this very good. Tiny bit of hesitancy in that intersection, but no big deal at all. Just so good, waiting for the pedestrians, making all these really smooth and good decisions. So this is what I'm talking about where I get frustrated, because overall, on the whole for me, FSD is performing so well. It is so nice. But we have these consistent bugs, which the wipers, you can't tell right now because it's raining, so they're doing the right thing. But the wipers and the lane drift is just like, it drives me crazy. All right, so making it through all of those stop signs really nicely. Real smooth on this left turn. Not a whole lot of cars to interact with at this exact scenario. But that doesn't always stop the car from being weird. Even when the streets are clear, sometimes it's way too hesitant. So we'll move here and we'll make this right. After our complete stop, it's clear. If we go quickly. Nope, now we have to wait. And we're gonna be in the crosswalk, kind of in the way of people. They can obviously go behind us, but it's just unfortunate positioning, to be honest. Wow. And then as the pedestrian is taking the crosswalk there, the car to our left couldn't proceed because there's a pedestrian in the way. And it was almost like the Tesla was like, oh, there's a pedestrian in their way, I can go. I mean, the takeoff was so confident and so smooth, it felt so good. All right, so we'll wait for this unprotected left. We'll see how the car does here. I would move up a little more. It's not that important. Okay, so you need to go through the yellow because we're in the, okay. Oh, you're going to do it. Do it. Yes, that's right. That is right. We're in the, wow. I am very surprised by that. We were in the intersection. So legally in Michigan, I'm sure some people will be mad in the comments, but if you're in the intersection and the light changes, you can finish your maneuver. And I've complained a lot about them in the past because the car would miss multiple light cycles at really busy intersections. And that was very impressive to me that it moved through there. It didn't make a kind of robotic decision of, oh, red light, I can't go. It was actually the correct decision for the situation. So waiting for the pedestrians here, they did add a stop sign to the right there, which is very good. This was always I always thought it was very strange this intersection didn't have a stop sign over there, and now it does. So that should make things a lot safer for the vehicles doing the cross traffic here. People would stop there even without the stop sign. It was always very confusing. So unfortunately, we do have a car in our way here. So this is where the Tesla used to, it would like see the two lights and like ignore the first set for some reason, like thinking there weren't actually two lights. It was hallucinating the first set or something. I don't know how to exactly describe it. Hopefully you understand what I'm saying. But even though this was red, it would try to go through it and stop at the next red. So I did try this the other day and it did stop at this red, but then when it turned green, it didn't go. So it was kind of like the opposite problem. So I was hoping to get it in this video today. But yeah, we had a car in our way and it is proceeding through, unlike what I experienced last time, probably because we have a guide car, but you know, it's hard to say. Could have been just a fluke last time or a fluke this time, you never know. All right, so we'll make our stop here and we'll see, will the car be able to kind of get around this parked truck? Now we got pedestrians to wait for. Luckily, the person to the left is out of the way, that Subaru. And now we will go, man, these decisions on stopping and going in relation to pedestrian positioning is so good right now. Oh my gosh. Going around these trucks, so good right now. Like, wow, all of this just feels kind of supernatural, like superhuman at this point. Just those two bugs, Tesla. Oh my gosh, I swear, I would have so many zero intervention drives if I didn't have the wipers and the lane drift. Oh my gosh, we'd be golden. See if we get the dog on screen here. Nope, just the person. The dog's a little bit blocked. That human pilot did not do a great job there. I don't know if she obviously she stopped in time, but it didn't look too good. She was like driving towards that person and dog. So we're stopping here. Yeah, we got a little alarm for that guy and he turned red. I'm not surprised because his velocity at that point was kind of like, you know, he was coming right at us. So if I was driving, I would just move to the left a little bit and keep going, but I don't think it's a bad decision what the car did either. So nice right turn there. And then I'm also, you know what? I'm on top of my game today too. I'm getting these routes updated in time. I'm not getting distracted and missing route updates, which I definitely do sometimes. So I don't know why the map says there's so much traffic here. There's not that many people. We got the green, waiting for this car. Very good. I mean, I can't complain. I don't know what to tell you. This is feeling great. Let's see how this stop does. Very smooth. We'll get right to the line. Might be, yeah, we're a little behind the line. There's a pedestrian across from us, which obviously, if I zoom in here, the car sees and has them in blue. Waiting for the next person in blue, but she turns right and the car proceeds. Maybe a 1 second delay compared to me when I would have kind of decided, okay, she turned right. Maybe the car was 1 second behind me or so, but overall, very good. No turn on red. This has been working for many months at this intersection and many intersections, not just in Ann Arbor. I experienced these all over the place, and they work for me. Ever since it was kind of implemented, it was never in the release notes. It's just one day it started working. No right turn on red. It was a long time ago. Let's say a year. I don't think it was quite a year, but something like that. And it's worked perfectly for me every time except one time it tried to go through no right on red, no turn on red. Other than that, all over Ann Arbor, other parts of Michigan, it seems to be working great. So we wait for the green and then we proceed. Slowly, cautiously. Not complaining, just pointing out. Yeah, maybe degraded. I know. You've been saying that the whole time. So nice positioning here for our next upcoming turn. Pedestrian in road, detected, slowed down a little bit until they got out of the way. Very good. And then we're changing into this lane here. Yeah, the car sometimes will kind of stick its butt out like that. So we're not blocking anybody. We can check out the cameras here. But you can see that the car is clearly over. I can't zoom in. I'm trying to zoom in. Clearly over that line in between these two lanes. And there's plenty of room to move over more, pull up. I definitely would not be in this same positioning. All right, and then this is the tighter, busier part of downtown here. And we'll go through here. And we have one last stop. So far only one intervention. I don't want to jinx anything. I mean, I don't care. If the car screws up, it screws up. But it's doing really well so far. You know, and on top of, it's not just that, there's so much more to, you know, zero intervention, zero disengagement only tells you so much, right? If the car is like speeding and slamming on the brakes and turning the wheel all over the place, but you don't technically have to do anything, it's like, okay, that's all right. It was definitely our turn. That person just literally never stopped. You know, that's one thing. But even though I had to hit the accelerator one time so far because the car was not going to proceed, the smoothness, the way it's moving around, it's not confusing the people around it. It's not taking forever to get through intersections. It's not getting too close to pedestrians. It's doing everything really nicely on top of actually doing it, right? So not only is it doing the driving and getting us A to B, as that person, you know, gets confused and needs to turn around, it's doing it nicely. It feels good to me as a passenger in the car. I mean, I'm technically the driver, but if I'm a passenger, it feels really good. And we haven't scared anybody. It didn't, you know, cut anyone off or do anything like that. So they have a stop, and it's our turn to go. Is the car going to do it? Yeah, I got scared of them because they were walking quickly out towards us. And that was, in my opinion, the right move. Because, yeah, it's a red hand, but somebody can still walk if they want. This person's waiting. That's not a place to cross the road. I'm so glad the Tesla moved forward with that. Although I kind of would be happy with either decision. But it did see her peek out and decide to keep going. Man, really good. This all just feels so good. All right, so we'll stop here. We got our left turn signal on, and this is probably going to take a while. I'm going to do my best not to intervene, just to kind of let the car do its thing, but there is somebody behind me, so now's the time to go. I don't know what you're waiting for. Do it. Go. Go quickly. Hey, look at that. It's not quickly, but you know what? I'll take it. That was good. I should just shut up. The car did great. All right, we approach that final destination. Super impressive stuff. I mean, the car, again, like I was saying, not only did it do everything, I did intervene one time. It did everything, and it felt really nice. It didn't freak anybody out. It is going to wait for these pedestrians here, so I'm not intervening there. Even though they kind of slowed down as they approached the intersection, they didn't kind of go full steam ahead. The car was still able to kind of work out, all right, you know, they want to go. Even if they're being a little timid, I'm going to wait for them, which is just such a beautiful improvement over in the past. You really needed the pedestrian to kind of like book it at you and continue that momentum for the car to really kind of stick with it and pick up on it. Doesn't stop for that guy. Man, I don't know. It's just feeling really good. So yeah, one intervention in 5-6 miles, something like that. And yeah, this intersection. So this is something that the car still gets wrong on the map, which needs to be improved. So I'll report that actually, because obviously that's closed. You can't go that way, and you used to be able to, and the car is trying to get over there. So let's hang out here for a minute. You know what? I don't know. It's kind of the end of the drive. If you want to count this as an intervention, you can. But I just want to put this destination in to get this car to complete this right turn, because obviously there's like tons of pedestrians here again. And I want to see if the car can figure it out. So there we go. We're going to turn right here. What is that guy up there doing? He's going to go, what? I was looking at the screen, so I don't know how he even got in that situation. All right, go. It's the time. You got to go. You know what? Beautiful. I will take it. Beautiful. Going through here. This is a makeshift crosswalk. So are we going to wait? There you go. It does wait for that person. And again, this is a makeshift crosswalk. They just put up some barricades here for people to cross. It's not normally a place that they cross. man, I'm loving it. Awesome. Great job, Autopilot team. And I will talk to you down in the comments.